Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, El Shai Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. I'm going to entitle this video, Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish, neither shall ye diminish aught from it. Now, let's see how much of this can I put into the title initially. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you. What word is he talking about? The Lord. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments. You got to keep all the commandments. You can't pick and choose from the commandments. I like this commandment. Oh, I don't like that one. Oh, I'm going to add this to it. The Most High clearly not dealing with you. If you claim to be a prophet, a teacher of the Most High among Israel, and especially if you push the Lord, you got to keep the laws. Where's your fringes at? You know what I'm talking about. Keep the laws. All I got to do is bring up, hey, they can bring up the Sabbath. Are you keeping the Sabbath? Because they're not. Only ones that keep the Sabbath the right way are the men of GMS and others that follow GMS that are no longer with GMS, namely Sakari. They teach that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. Where do you think they got it from? They got it from us. Followed under us. They didn't change that. You got Genesis. They came out of the two that are part of Genesis, the two leaders, they're part of Sakari. So they still teach that the Sabbath and the Sabbath is based upon the new moons. Then you have Ariala, was formerly part of Sakari, and he just recently left. He's starting his own thing now. He also teaches, I believe, that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon because he came up under the Sakari, so he kept that. But all these three groups that I mentioned, oh, by the way, from Sakari, you got how many groups? You got, what, 3 or 4 different? Yeah, you got another couple other groups. You got a couple of Jakes from Atlanta. They were formerly part of Sakari that got their own thing. But they say no hard feelings. We don't have no hatred. We're just moving on. So out of Sakari, you got at least three more groups. And I believe they all teach the same thing concerning the Sabbath that is based upon the new moon. Now, on the other hand, you got IUIC. These are major groups. IUIC, you got ISUBK and other groups, AOC, HOI, House of Israel, HODC, which they all teach that the Sabbath is based upon the Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Never changes. Always Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Get you a calendar. You open a calendar where it says Friday, that sundown is the Sabbath. I don't give a damn if you got leap years. Because when the leap year comes in, what is that, once every 4 years, the whole calendar's all messed up for the rest of the year. So how can it be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown? That's just one law, right? But IUIC brags about how they keep the law and you got to keep the laws, and they keep the laws. They don't keep all the laws. They keep some of the laws. So they're sounding like the wicked scribes and Pharisees. And it says, excuse me for eating. I'm sorry. I'm eating some nuts, some pistachio nuts. And that's the only thing I'm going to eat for the rest of the day until later tonight. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did. Oh, another thing, According, if Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai was dealing with you, don't you think he would give you his name? If you're the premier group on the planet Earth, I'm talking about IUIC. If the Most High is dealing direct, you guys got the breakdown from the spirit of the Most High God. Well, you mean to tell me he's going to give you all this information, but he's not going to give you his name or his son's name? Bottom line, the Most High is not dealing with the IUIC, neither the ISUPK. Just because of that, because they're going to offer one law. You can't claim to keep the laws, and you guys are keeping the laws. If you go off on one, you're not perfect. Did not Yahweh Shai say you must exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees, scribes and Pharisees? What is the righteousness of the law? He said you got to keep the law better. He said, do not as they do, but do as they say, but do not as they do, for they say and do not. That's why he said, yeah, you got to keep. He told them, the scribes and Pharisees said, we got to keep the law. The Messiah said, yeah, of course, keep the law. I keep the law. Keep the law. He told a woman it's about to be stoned to death for the act of adultery, caught in the act, which represents Israel. That's where the mercy comes in. He said there are no accusers. He said, go thy way, and how do you say it exactly? He said, and sin no more. Look up the word sin. The words in 1 John. The word sin means transgression of the law. It literally means to miss the mark. Bullseye, you got an arrow. Every time you shoot that arrow, you got to hit the middle mark. If you get off by a little bit, you miss the mark, which is sin. So the law is designed for us now. We're under grace. And so if we miss the mark, you get back up, try it again. Get back up, try it again until you get it correct. You deep enough in his law, you talk to a beautiful woman, and she says she got a man. Oh, you back off. You don't continue. Well, she pursued me. I said I'm not going to deal with her, but she kept dealing with me. She got slapped by a man. Doesn't matter. She can call the cops or whatever. A lot of guys justified back in One West. What's this guy? Shabar. He had slapped his woman, and because he had, which is his between him and her, she went to council. The council said which is the seven, okay, which was a wicked judgment, really led by Lahab. Lahab pushed it, because I confronted him about that. He said, look, because you slapped that sister and you apologize, we don't want to hear that. No, y'all no longer together. And then she got with another brother, which he bugged out. He's bugged out, Levite brother. He bugged the hell out. He said he made a statement. He said, I'm dealing with that bitch in the school, in the temple. He said, I bust in the ass in the name of, and he said, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So, they need a Levite. You gotta watch out for them Levites, except for me. I'm a special kind of Levite. And that happens among Jake. Jake likes to get bust in the ass and bust people in the ass. I ain't never bust nobody in the ass. And I don't ever plan to. This chick said, you can bust. I said, nope, I'm not into that. I don't do that. And a certain person says he like get busted in the ass with no grease. Just give it to me raw. Now we understand what's this dude? Damn. God damn, bruh. I can't, from the Wu-Tang. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Now we understand that. Don't get no grease. Just give it to me raw. Cause yeah, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. He's a fucking freak, man. Anyway, being that I said all this, it says that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh, all of them, your power, which I command you. The wicked scribes and Pharisees bragging was not good because they weren't keeping all the laws. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Pel Peor for all the men that followed Bel Peor, the Lord thy power hath destroyed them from among you. Now I got to give you an example of that. What is meant by that? What is meant by that? Bel Peor. Give me a second here. Let me do this. I'm gonna go to the. I already know what it's all about, but I'm gonna do it like I don't know. Let me do this. Okay. Bear me for a bit. Bear me for a minute. We'll see what that means. Like I said, I know what it means. I'm just going to act like I don't know what it means. Mosai said he dealt with these guys that, let me read this from this again. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did at Bel Peor, for Yahweh has destroyed from among you, the Israelites, all the men who followed Bel Peor. So now let's see what they say it means. I'm pretty sure they're gonna downright, but let's see. Let's go to. I think they got it. Let's go. I think because of Bel Peor and Bel's name as 9 verse 10, Deuteronomy 3 verse 29. The sin and its punishments are related by J.E. Numbers 25 1-5. So let me go to Numbers. Come on up. Better wait. Sin of Peor and Israel abode and shit. I'm trying to go to the point. And Israel abode in Shittim, and people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And Bel Peor, it wasn't limited to one nation. The Midianites were, that region they were worshiping Baal Peor. And this is how you worship Baal Peor. Let me see. And they called themselves sacrifice of God, and people did eat and bowed down to the God, who bowed down to the God. What are the things you got to do in worshiping Baal Peor? We're going to find out what it is. And Israel joined himself, or the men of Israel joined himself, Baal and the woman, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel because they were praying to this God. And Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before Yahweh against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. Because you got Israel, after they got delivered, go back to Deuteronomy 4, I did show you how I delivered you, right? And here you are still doing it. And he gave the reference. And that was the reference point. Deuteronomy going back to Numbers. It says, and Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye everyone his man that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish like an Israelitess woman, right? Woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. You had some Israelites that were praying to the Most High, calling on the name of the Most High. That's why the name is important. You got to know the name. That's why it said what it said in Exodus 23 and 13. Don't make mention of any other God, because that's what they were doing. That's why that scripture is in there. So when you call on Christ, you're calling on another God. It tells you that. Paul said that. Another Jesus. I may get that. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin, a spear, in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel in the tent and thrust both of them, the Midianitish woman and the Israelite man, the man of Israel, and the woman through her belly. He got two with one stone. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel because there was a plague. And the Most High brought the plague because you had Israelites worshiping other gods. And those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000. So part of the thing that you got, let me do this. Baal Peor. Let's get some history on Baal Peor. The way you worship Baal Peor is you have sex with a woman, or a man, but it was in a woman, and then you're doing it in the name of, it's a ritual that you're doing it in the name of this God. For the ones of you that don't know. How many of you knew this? Be honest. Okay. So you got killed. Give me a second. I'll go over here. Baal Peor and the temple prostitutes. Baal. Let me do it this way. Give me a second. Let me try it this way. Baal Peor was a Canaanite deity, an African god associated with sacred prostitution. So if you got with a woman that worshiped the god, the Baal Peor, you you had sex with her, she'll say, "Oh, I'll give you some sex," but you got to do it in the name of my God. Which was a practice in which women had sex as a form of worship. So the man that engaged in sex, that's why it said in Numbers 31, I believe it is. If not Numbers 30, I'm positive it's Numbers 31. I'm not going to go to it. Moses got mad because they were killing the Midianite men, and they were taking the wives of the Midianite men. And Moses said, kill the men, kill the boys, kill the women that are married to the Midianite men, but take the little girls for yourself. What do you think that they did with those girls? And why did he say don't take well, first of all, the husband is dead, so you can take, because she's a worshiper of Baal Peor. Now the little girls, they were just coming up. They wasn't grown women. So you can mold them as to being like living according to the laws. And that's in the scriptures too. So we can't deal with women of the other nations as concubines. Concubines is in the scripture for a reason. See, this is what happens when you don't put your scholar cap on and you get emotional. I'm talking about all of y'all. You get emotional. So this is why there was a plague, because you had Israelite men. They didn't mention Israelite women, but they said Israelite men, they were having sex with women of the other nations that were worshipers of Baal, and they would do it as a set. Well, look, I'm just getting off. Yeah, I'll pray to your God as long as I can get off, so to speak. So there's a thing called the temple prostitution or intermarriage. Samson, he lay with a prostitute. The Most High didn't get mad at him. He said, "Look, I'm taking your power because you got it in with a woman of another nation, prostitute." No, he didn't. The Most High told Hosea, "Get you a prostitute." Back then, you would rent it was a rent a hoe. You get a woman, and you say, "I want you to stay in my house for a whole month. I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars. You're gonna cook for me, clean for me. You're gonna be my wife, and you're gonna give me sex. You're gonna keep the house straight." And you had that. Some of the men would want to keep the hoe. Hey, we are hoes. We prostitutes, man. Israelites are prostitutes. That's why the Most High is saying, Jeremiah 3, that the land is greatly polluted. But the Most High said, "But I'm going to take this hoe back." That hoe is Israelites. Because of forgiveness. Because we are hoes. That's what it represents. The woman that was taken in the act of adultery, that was a picture of the Israelites and how Yahushua going to heal that woman. That woman represented Israel. Were there prostitutes in the temple? In ancient Corinth. Let me see what this is all about. Corinth's temples were considered the most socially accepting to prostitution. Greek geographer Strabo, these letters are light, I can hardly read it, describes Corinth, Book of Corinth, Paul going to Corinth, Corinth's lust to the civilians. He said the temple of Aphrodite, however you want to say it, once had acquired more than 1,000 prostitutes. This is why Apostle Gabar always goes in on Corinth. This is why they were so out of order. This is why Corinth was the hardest church to deal with, to turn around, because they were raised up in that during that time where they were just doing anything. 1 Corinthians chapter 5. Man was laying with his father's wife. They were doing all kind of debaucherous things. Because that came out of, there were certain lands back in the day, like the Berea. Berea would not, if the people of Berea was living in Corinth, they'll do the same goddamn thing because it's available to them. So the temple of Aphrodite, and I'm going to look her up, once had acquired more than 1,000 prostitutes donated by both men and women to the service of the goddess. So when you went to that harlot house, you were doing it, and then she might be getting, you might be dealing with it, and she'll call on that god. Let me look up Aphrodite. Aphrodite. Let me see. Aphrodite. Let me do this. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm sorry. Aphrodite and the temple prostitutes. Okay, let's see what comes up. Current temples were considered the most socially accepted to prostitutes. Greek geographer Strabos described Corinth's lust to the civilians, the other nations, because they were dealing with other nations as well. He said that the temple of Aphrodite was once had acquired more than 1,000 prostitutes, which are temple prostitutes that go back to Baal PR, donated by both men and women to the service of the god. To keep the goddess appeased, you had to have sex. Go back to Baal PR. Let me see. Sacred prostitutes. I'll give you can get sex, but you got to call on my God. So the guy want to get it in, he gonna call on that God. Well, you don't call on that God. See, Samson didn't get caught up with that. Terms associated with temple prostitutes in Sumer and Babylon. That's why you think this profession is called the oldest profession in the history of the world. It's called that for a reason. Cult prostitutes at Molu, Ishtaru, the class of woman, Sikrum, Secreto, prostitute, whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry. So let me come on back. So the seven used to say, oh, see, that brother got put to death because he was having sex with another No, he was having sex with another nation's woman in the name of Baal PR. That's why they slaughtered the Midianites, because of their God. And Balaam, which got the vision even unto the end of the world. Balaam saw what we are living in today. He saw the destruction. He saw everything, man. He saw pretty much what John the Apostle saw on the Isle of Patmos. But he was a heathen. He wished he can wake up, die, and come back as an Israelite. He got killed. That's in the Numbers 31. Okay, let me come back here. Okay, that's why. See this. Let me read it again. Your eyes have seen that Yahweh did what the Lord Yahweh did because of Baal Peor, because of God Baal Peor. The Moabites were worshiping Baal Peor, and the Midianites. When you go to Numbers 25, it mentions the Moabite women and the Midianite women. These were two different nations. For all the men for all the men that follow Bel Peor, how do you follow Bel Peor? Having sex in the name of Bel Peor. The Lord Yahweh thy power hath destroyed them from among you. I'm not going to read the rest of this. So you got, let me come over here now. This is not what I want. Is this it? This is not what I want either. Okay. Now I want you to listen to this. This is put up by the new song Ba. Shalom to you. Shalom to you. This is recent. He made a statement that all this mess started. That's why they hate Israel, because of Tahar and the GMS. So because of the grape thing. Which the grape, if we went with them, we would follow a multitude to do wickedness, right? See, that's what happens when you get emotional and you don't put your scholar caps on. Because them Edomite scholars, when you go to Deuteronomy 22, they say the same thing that we say. Why? Because they leave their emotions at home. So let's listen to, he's going to say a few words, but mainly I want you to hear what Asaph is going to say. Deacon Asaph, whatever his title is.
I don't know if it still works. I'm trying to revive it right now, but I got the recording, and I know because I recorded it.
I had a bunch of precepts lined up. I'm not going to hit all these precepts. I may hit a couple of them. I may come back because I got to make some moves before these brothers come down.
Long before the law of how to deal with a situation became an issue. So, keep going.
Before Tahar and them, never before did black people look at us like we had a sexual deviance problem.
Pause it. That's the only thing I'll give to him. That's the only thing I did. The great mills don't count with that raping children and having sex with children and raping women.
See, he's adding to the word. We never said that. It was polite that said that. So you're adding to our words, man. Which is wicked as hell. And they say we do it. If we're doing that, do you think we would brag about that shit? Are you stupid?
Woman, okay, and saying they want to sleep with white women, we was never looked at in that. That's where you are 100%.
You can have look up the word concubines. David had concubines. Samson slept with a prostitute. King Solomon had concubines. The Most High didn't attack. When King Solomon was young, he had women of the different nations, which he shouldn't have married. He should have just made them concubines. But that was for political reasons, so to speak. You know, you have doing business with another nation. You would take their daughters to yourself or to your sons. So the Israelites had women that had children with other nations, but they were not wives; they were concubines. In the case of Solomon, he made them Egyptian princess for political reasons, economic reasons. He had married them. He had married the Edomite woman, which he was going off on that. But he was a young man. The Most High did not deal with him because he was dealing with them women. The Most High dealt with him because when he got old, he built up the high places and different gods for these different nations' women. That's where he went off. That's where he went off. That's why the Lord says this. Deuteronomy, and we've gone through this, Deuteronomy 21:10. If you find a beautiful woman, you defeated the enemy, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation. I had to throw that in there. So it was there. I had to throw it in there. Right from Conan, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You saw a woman, oh, that's a beautiful woman. You know she was of another nation. You defeated the enemy, the other nation. You say, spare these women right here, spare all these women right here. You might have 10, 20, 30, 40 women. And then, he said, if you catch a woman of another nation, you have to do this before you go in unto her and make her your wife. The word wife in the Hebrew is Ayasha, which just means woman. That's all it means. People don't understand that. You can't deal with them for a month. We're talking about like 30 days. You had to cut their nails and cut their hair and take off the garments of their captivity, put on the garments that you want on them. And when you deal with a woman, you tell you with a woman, you say, look, I want you to, we go to this place where they got the lingerie. I want you to put that on. Or I want you to surprise me. You know, that's for the bed, so to speak, you know? So going back to these examples, we had women of the other nations that we had children with. I went through this the other day, a couple of days ago, concerning Gideon. He had was it 70 sons? He had at least one son from a concubine, which is another nation. So there's nothing wrong. So in the kingdom, we're gonna have concubines, because we're not breaking no law.
Right on that. Tahar is the one that birthed that evil, and that's why his kids.
Well, he's calling the law evil. He's calling the law evil. He's not saying, oh, well, we can't follow that law. He's saying that law is evil. And why does he say that? Because he doesn't understand the law, because he blindly listens to Nathaniel. He blindly listens to this guy. So he's letting his emotions rule over him. Because why would we make a statement like that? Why would Tahar make a statement? Why would GMS make? Why don't them GMS guys just leave them? And anybody that want to leave GMS, don't tell us nothing. Just don't come around, okay? Because there's demons in GMS too that get all emotional. We had one guy about a year ago. He was with us for years, and he knew about the grape thing. Then he just left. And they asked him, why are you leaving? Because of that grape thing. So you were sitting on it for years and not saying nothing. And well, guess what? You're going to take that chip and you're going to be destroyed. So this is what happens when you make a man a god. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
His group is nothing. Nobody mentions them.
You mentioned this right now. He just mentioned GMS. He just mentioned GMS. This ain't nothing. It tells you in the Apocrypha, the kingdom of come is for few. Ain't gonna get millions and millions and millions of people. There's gonna be a small number compared to the whole of Israel. Anybody that's an Israelite that's not of the elect on this piece of land, which is America, you're gonna die right. You're gonna suffer the death of the Edomites. And then it says in the law, Exodus 23, what does it say? When it comes in, matter of fact, I should go to it. I'll paraphrase it. You know, basically, woe to him. Woe to him that followeth a multitude to do evil. I'm merely paraphrasing. So, if you were about the law, you would say, the leadership, you guys are off. I did some research on this. I did get emotional. I did listen to what Tahar had to say. He kept saying, don't get emotional. Put your scholar cap on. I did the research, and he's right. Despite how hard it sounds, he is 100% right. Well, he would never say that. He would never say that because he thinks that Nate is a god. This is the most highest man, which he's not. So he got emotional with the rest of them. He's speaking by emotions because he doesn't put his scholar cap on. Captain Tazariak, he goes into the scriptures, give it to him. He does a lot of studying. He goes into the Hebrew, but be honest. Did Captain Tazariak ever go into them scriptures that we went into and do a thorough breakdown of the scriptures? You have, if it's in the New Testament, you have to tap into the Hebrew, and then you got to go into the root word of the principal word. If it's in the New Testament, you have to go to the Greeks, the Greek. Why do you think, right here, the Bible Hub? I'll give you some examples. Sometimes they'll put Hebrew words in there. Sometimes they'll go into the Hebrew. Sometimes they'll mention the Apocrypha. So they're kind of doing this. Oh, here, boom, right here, right here. Hebrew. So if you want to get deep into the scriptures, you have to go into the root of the word. And you'll see it. Let's listen to this again. This is emotions, man. Give me a second. Where am I? Right here. Right here. Let's listen to this. Is nothing but emotions. Follow not a multitude to do wicked and to wrestle judgment.
You in the back. I got the record. Keep going.
Before to hide nothing, never before did black people look at us like we had a sexual deviance problem.
Pause it. That's the only thing I'll give to him.
So they're in agreement with this, which they're both going off.
That's the only thing I did. The great millstone camp with that raping children and having sex with children and raping women.
We never teach that. We didn't teach that. We said women in general. We didn't say little children. So he's adding, which the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua gonna deal with him.
Okay, and saying they want to sleep with white women, we was never.
Where's that in the scriptures that you can't sleep with? You can't have concubines.
Looked at it, that's where you are 100% right on that. Tahar is the one that birthed that evil, and that's why his.
So he's calling the law that I broke down correctly, like a scholar. He's calling that evil. He said the conclusion that I came up with. Yep, you can take them by force, and you take them by force, but you got to give the father 50 shekels, and you can't divorce him. They didn't get it. Their emotions took over. Nepal Shadar was the one, and she's a woman. And she was the one that said, nope, GMS is correct. And they'll say, well, she's a woman. What does she know?
His group is nothing. Nobody mentions them.
And I take that as a compliment. Hey, go to Ezekiel chapter 3. Read the first, 4 or 5 verses. It said they will not listen to you because they will not listen to me. They don't listen. The Israelites ain't listen to Yahweh. We just spoke. These guys think they're the mouthpiece of the Most High. Well, if they're the pieces of the Most High, wouldn't they know the name of the Most High and His Son?
When I first came into this, they were the top people as far as notoriety, as far as breaking the scriptures down. But when he went to
as far as breaking the scriptures down, we broke that scripture down correct. Watch what the Most High. This man is he got exposed for this stuff that he was doing. All of them are gonna get exposed because the Most High is not dealing with any of these groups.
to sexual deviancy.
And are these same groups, minus him, IUI, ISUBK, IUIC, you notice when it comes to the MOTB, we're going off on it. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're adding to the word. Now, if they, like I said, if certain individuals that listen to Nate say the MOTB is an embargo, and through the years, it's first an embargo, it's other nations, not talking about people. It's talking about people now. It's talking about Nero. He said Nero Caesar. Then he said it's was it Claudius Caesar, which was Nero's father, on that show, 3 Milli show. And the guy from the 3 Milli, the host from the 3 Milli show, asked him about the MO. He knew it. The way he was putting it out there. And when Nate broke it down the way he broke it down, the guy, I'm corrected. I thought it was a chip. He didn't say that, but he kind of, if you watch the video, you'd see what I'm talking about. All you got to do is go to 3 Milli and put Nathaniel, whatever, IUIC, it'll pop up. So the Ezekiel chapter 3, it said that these people are going to hate you so much. They're going to make their faces like flint against you. You make your faces like flint against them. And that includes these other Israelite groups. The MOTB is the micro C-hip.
The Most High reduced him to nothing.
We still got GM. There's all kind of videos. You just don't want to look them up. You're speaking about us. You're making us famous, infamous. We're still here. He said the Most High reduced us to nothing. That means you wouldn't hear about GMS no more. Wait a minute. Let me do this. GMS South Carolina. GMS Vegas sit down. GMS Info Doc. Not all these brothers got GMS in their name. GMS, Remnant Saved. GMS, Mawatazak. So everybody left us. GMS Inquire Early too. GMS Babylon is Fallen. GMS Watchmen. GMS Spiritual. GMS North Carolina. Got GMS London. GMS GMS. Malcolm, which is GMS. He's the head over to Chicago. Eldon head over to Chicago camp. GMS The Basics. GMS New Moons. So what is this guy saying? We're nothing. You ain't got nothing. GMS I'm a one. What is that? Matter of fact, there's a brother in our camp that have almost the same name. I get them confused. That's all. GMS. GMS for Virgin Islands. So what the hell is this guy talking about?
And we watch his teachings and his camps disintegrate to nothing. Now they're not even a blip on the radar. And they're still doing the same thing I'm complaining about Sakari about. They still gossiping. They still in other people's business, talking about they doing the work. So that's the only thing that I will give to him.
Hold up, they're still gossiping. They're still in other business. It says if you see something, Galatians, what is that? Galatians 5 or Galatians 6. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're gossiping. If you say a brother's going off and so I guess we were gossiping about this. See, he's coming with his own understanding. That's why if he don't repent, he's going to get destroyed. He said they're gossiping about other people's business. Let's go to, what is that? Leviticus. It's either Exodus or Leviticus 5. Levit 5. Let's see if I'm correct. So he's standing on emotions, bro. Let's let this come up. I'm gonna get ready to close. I'm sure you had a bunch of scriptures I wanted to deal with, which I'm not gonna be able. If this counsel be of men, it will come to naught. Now he said we're no longer. I showed you a bunch of GMS pages. And if a soul sit and hear the voice of swing, and is a witness, whether he have been or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. When it came out about Sakari, leader Sakari, about this thing, we had to speak on that. But a week before that, we got on him about that he's not a prophet of doom. Well, we said we prophets of doom. And then he said we can be here for the next 1,000 years, which he said recently, you guys taught me that we're going to be here for the next 1,000 years. Please show me that. Please give me the receipt. All right? So you are supposed to get into people's business. If Nate is let's say we see Nate, that's not going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. Let's say I'm doing the delivery in Greenwich Village, and I see Nate walking with an Edomite man, and they hugging each other and kissing. Am I supposed? Well, I mean, not say that. I don't want to get in there. That's his business. No, I'm not saying he does that. I'm not implying that he does that. But I'm saying if I'm just giving you that case. Am I supposed to act now? This guy Asaph would probably act like he don't see it. If you see your leader down in Greenwich Village with tight pants or whatever, with an Edomite, and they walking and they hugging and they smacking each other's booty and they kissing, and you clearly see and you hear them talk, but it's Nate's voice, and you even get pictures, and you don't say nothing. That's why the scripture's here. So their camp is they're getting other people's business. Yeah, that's what the prophets do. Yeah, Howard Shah got all in described business in read Matthew's 23. So what the fuck are you talking about, man? These guys that get along to get what is how you say that? Get along to stay along, however it goes. These old demonic sayings. But anyway, hey, the scripture said, if this counsel be of men, it shall come to naught. But if be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. Least happily you come to fight. Happen that you fight the Most High. So when you guys buck up against the grape thing, which is the GMS is speaking on, according to the scriptures, we only giving you the scriptures. You're saying that we're going off and the Most High is going to deal with us. Guess what? You're not fighting against us. You're fighting against the Most High. And Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua going to bring judgment to you guys. See, these guys are in this thing because they got big numbers. They're not being, if Nate could say, if Nate all of a sudden say, you know what, Spirit came to me in a dream, and it is the microchip. Guess what? Guarantee you all of them will see it all. Yep, I see it too. I see it too. Why do you think we call you guys zombies? Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.